going from right to left. Hughes almost wrestles it forward for them. I think they'll have to do it all over again, the big men in the centre. And there are about 20 players there milling around this bounce. Burke against Salmon. Burke wins it, just out of Russell's reach. It's Essendon who get it forward. Duckworth. Could be 15, it is, against Ablett. Just catching Duckworth after he took the mark, and this puts Bill Duckworth within scoring range. It's the opening goal of the match from a similar distance. This one is off target. Bill Duckworth. 2-2 this afternoon. And you see Ablett just arriving a little late as the ball's back into play through Terry Bright.
Out towards half-back, and good control of the football by Bairstow as he takes the mark at half-back for Geelong. He kicks in towards the centre, looking for the loose player. Views over the top, taps it. Duckworth. Handball out, Bailey. Hamilton. In towards centre half forward, and Elshaw takes the mark for the Bombers. 40 to 45 metres out. 12th kick coming up for Tony Elshaw. Essendon lead by 3 points. The start of the third quarter. Elshaw, long kick, straight through the centre. First goal to Elshaw, and Essendon's 9th coming up at the 3-minute mark of the third quarter.
Yes, and Essendon will have to kick a few goals this quarter because they're kicking to the end where it is a lot easier to kick goals. I spoke to a seconds player at the half-time interval, and as he pointed out, that end is protected by the Essendon grandstand, so the wind hasn't so much effect as it has up the other end.
Burke again wins the tap, a beauty to Buse. Out in the open spaces on the half-forward flank. Foles number 10 with Turner number 9, but it's Lindner who arrives there first. Just between wing and half-forward now. Bombers have the lead. 9 points as up goes the fist of Brownless. Another knock-on from Lindner. Right on the 50-metre line, the throw-in this time. Cloud is very high, the rain that threatened early, thankfully staying away as Russell's back in ruck again against Salmon. Beautiful tap from Salmon down to Baker. Free kick will go the way of Paul Salmon anyway. Russell giving away about a foot and a half as Salmon goes into the middle. Ball's knocked away from Walsh. Ablett, well gathered there by Bairstow. He's got good hands, but Stu didn't have much opportunity to get rid of that. Man that tackled him was Shane Hurd. He's got the free kick, takes a metre or two up towards Merritt. 3 against 1. Spilt by Stoneham. He gets the handball away. Now it's Burt out into the open spaces. Tim Watson leaves it behind. Here's Stoneham on top of it, wrestling with Hawker. Essendon just into attack. Bounce on the corner of the square.
The Bombers lead by 9 points, 5 minutes into the third quarter. And a bounce taking place at half-back for the Cats. Buse on the end of it. Runs towards the wing area. Left foot kick is a good one and finds Turner in front of Folds. Michael Turner has kicked 3 behinds. He's kicked towards half-forward. No mark taken. Picking up the crumbs was Danaher. Danaher out towards the wing on the outer side of the ground. Walsh leads in the race for the ball. Tackled by Stoneham and dispossessed well. In comes Merritt. He's tackled by Christensen, dropping the ball. Play on, says the umpire. And Scott, his kick has been smothered. He goes after it again. He feeds it out towards Troy. Attempted kick by Thompson. And Bailey grabs hold of the football and hands it to the umpire. And a bounce will take place only 6 or 7 metres away from the centre circle.
Essendon lead by 9 points. Burke, the backhander. Buse gets a bad bounce, and another one. Hawker's right on him. He was in possession. No, umpire says he wasn't. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. The torpedo punt from Buse. His 12th kick. Good mark, Turner. Turner, inside 50. Hasn't kicked a goal this afternoon. Been inaccurate on 3 occasions. He allows for the breeze again. And this drags it away too much. Linder up high. Oh, he's caught high. Play on's the call. Cleaned up by the Essendon defence. And away they go towards the half-back line. Through the hands of Hawker. Hurd. Kept the ball in front of him nicely. Duckworth, the shepherd that took right out of it. Barnes, the pass is directed towards. Battling with Boss. The Geelong player does it well. Good shepherd from Troy to take Barnes out of it. It's heavy stuff as Baker marks on the wing.
Baker and Hocking, and Baker, a lot of experience at half-back. Kicks it towards the wing area. Walsh doesn't let him down and takes the mark in front of Stoneham. He plays on. Kicks it towards centre-half forward. Duckworth can't mark. Christensen out wide. Now Christensen takes the ball. It was Cleve who gave the hand pass. Christensen towards the wing. Here's a chance for Turner. Tackled by Foles. A little slow, Mick Turner. A tap away. Elshaw. He taps it in front of him. Now Turner goes after it again. Close to the boundary line. Left foot kick towards centre-half forward. No mark taken. A chance for Buse. Kick into the forward pocket area. Offline and rolls through for a behind. And Geelong go on to 7-10, 52. They trail by 8 points. The Bombers 9-6-60.
Hocking was all on his own there, and Buse elected to have a shot for goal. Lucky Elshaw able to keep it in, or was it? Half of it was in. Merritt beaten by Cleve, gets the handball out for Ablett. He's got support from Buse. Coming to meet it, Elshaw. That one's definitely out. 7 minutes gone. Geelong trail by 8 points. And again, it's Russell against Salmon. The bigger man winning hands down. Doesn't give it to anyone in particular. Ablett tries to kick it off the ground to Buse. Handballs instead. Throws instead, says the umpire.
I thought he handballed that one. I was surprised at that decision.
Play on. Elshaw takes it from Hamilton and kicks towards centre-half forward. At the back, no mark. Kick off from mid-air by Merritt. A chance for Exel, trying to get back onto his left foot. A little fortunate because the hand pass goes to Cleve. Cleve out towards Russell. He can't mark. He's interfered with by Francis. Play on. Hurd's kick has been marked at half-back by Christensen. Christensen for the Cats. Kicks in short. The mark taken by Russell on centre wing. Elshaw somehow came up with the football and slows play down. Russell kicks towards half forward. Buse is there for the Cats. Intercepted by Hamilton. And he sees the ball over the boundary line. He looks a little tired, Hamilton. And maybe that night match on Wednesday.
He could have hurt his ankle there, I think, Robbo. He's really struggling away.
Boundary throw in.
Salmon. Not taken by Bailey. He's really had trouble controlling it today. Away goes Scott. The pass too long. Brownless has 2 to beat. Terry Danaher does it well. Looking for Salmon. It's too long for him. This wind is really hard to judge. Away goes Andrew Buse for the Cats. Bombs it high. Linder. Sandwich between 2. Winton does that well. A behind for Geelong. They trail by 7 points. We've played almost 9 minutes into this third quarter.
Kicking in done by Winton. Comes to the members' side of the ground. Looking for the captain. Terry Danaher marks at half-back and he plays on. Looking for Williams. Buse in front. 2-1. Williams did it well, actually, because he kept the ball on centre wing when Geelong looked certainly to take it back into their forward area. Burke and young Barnes doing the ruck work. Up over the top was Russell. Now there's a chance for Ablett. He can't really control it. He's put Stoneham under a lot of pressure. Now it comes clear. Ablett kick off the ground towards centre-half forward. Essendon players everywhere. Foles. Kick towards centre-half forward over the back. Burke. Now a chance for Troy. Troy's kick out towards the wing, looking for Christensen. He's got 10 metres on Hawker. The bounce won't be kind to him. It's right up against the boundary line. He does it well. Hawker comes in and does the tackling, but unfortunately for Essendon, he gives away a free kick. And it'll go back to Christensen. 8th kick for Christensen. He kicks towards centre-half forward. No mark taken. Punched away by Danaher. Francis picks up the crumbs. Kicks it towards centre-half forward. Over the top. A chance for Elshaw. No, it's Watson. Watson ducks and weaves. Caught by Stoneham. Now Exel. Handballs out wide to Boss. The wind is very, very tricky. Bruns out to Buse. Buse with 50 metres in front of him of empty space. 3 bounces. Centre half forward. Goes for goal with the long bomb. Into the square. And Barnes nearly takes a screamer. It's been paid. And the young fellow who's kicked 2 goals and now in the ruck plays on. Comes to the members' side. Well, the umpires decided that he should kick over the mark. He went one way and then the other. But he's been forced now to kick from the goal square. He still decides to come to the members' side. Exel takes the mark after good judgment. And Watson just hanging back, showing a lack of confidence. And Exel fancies his chances from about 50 metres out. He has kicked 1 goal and a chance to bring the Cats very close to the Bombers. He's hooked his kick across the face of the goal. No mark taken, and it goes over the boundary line for a throw-in right against the behind post. The scoreboard, Essendon 9-6-60, Geelong 7-11-53, 12-minute mark, 3rd quarter.
Brownless against Barnes. Russell over the top. Barnes taps it dangerously back towards the square. Little shove there. No free kick to Linda. So the Rucks to do it over again. Geelong trail by 7 points. Russell against Barnes. Brownless prevented from coming in by Danaher. Linda's caught, hasn't got it. Bruce Linda. 7th kick. You see the tackle here from Williams. In fact, he probably knocked the ball out of Linda's grasp and then pulled him to the ground. Linda, it comes back. It's there. No. The Geelong flag started to wave. So Bruce Linda, 5 behind this afternoon. 1 straight kick in it. We've played 12 minutes.
Francis kicks it to himself and now has 2 bounces. Half back line. Terry Danaher on his own between half back and wing. Now he plays on, kicks it towards half forward. Walsh out positioned by Stoneham. Troy looking for the handball. He takes a short pass. Now he's got Bright on the opposite half back. Little bit of space. Kicks it into the pocket. There's no one home for the Cats. Barnes is there for the Bombers. Breaks the tackle but falls over at a crucial stage. Gets the handball away to Hawker. Hawker up forward to the centre wing. Williams back to Thompson. Thompson gets around Troy. Kicks towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Chance for Walsh. Tackled well by Bruns. The ball runs clear. Elshaw over the top. Into the pocket. Salmon. Punched away by Boss. Good play by Boss. And he sees it over the boundary line for a throw-in. 30 to 35 metres around from the Essendon goal. The Bombers lead by 6 points.
Superb defence from Mark Boss. Salmon goes back as Walsh wrestles with Burke. Geelong clear it. Oh, good mark from Francis. Held by one hand from Russell. Pull it in with the other.
He's doing a good job on Russell too, Peter Francis.
Bit of a bonus for the Bombers.
Goes long. Who will judge this floating ball? Salmon, a little shove on the mark. Oh, well done, Paul Salmon. And Burke a bit upset, I think. Merrick looking to even up the score. Watson in there as well. Roger Merrick, keep out of it. You don't want the ball taken off the team. Duckworth as well. Meanwhile, Salmon has the ball firmly in his grasp. He judged that very well, Paul Salmon. Tempers seem to have cooled. Salmon got a few out of his way and then took the grab.
Yeah, and this is really Paul Salmon's position, I feel, the full forward position. I think once Simon Madden comes back into the side that we'll see a lot more of Paul Salmon down on the forward line.
Salmon going for his first and getting it. Essendon lead by 2 goals, coming up to the 15-minute mark of the 3rd quarter.
He's a big boy, Salmon, 6'9", and he also leads very well and marks strongly. So There's not many fullbacks that can stop him when he's in full flight. But he hasn't had one of his best days today. He seems to be limping a little bit. I don't know whether his knee's still worrying him a little.
Barnes, a high leap and a good hit. Goes after it again. Elshaw, Duckworth. Here's Bailey. Left foot kick towards full forward. Mark taken by Boss. Streams out of defence and kicks it long only into the waiting hands of Mark Thompson. He plays on, gives the hand pass across to Hurd. Hurd's high ball into the centre is marked by Francis. Play on. Now Scott takes the football. Handball towards Hocking. Hocking up towards Turner. Can't mark. Ablett. Thompson on the bottom of it. No free kick given. Play on, says the umpire. Now there's a free kick. And it'll go to Geelong's Gary Ablett. Well, I couldn't see a free kick to Geelong there, but
no attempt.
Well, I agree.
Gary Ablett takes the free kick. 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle. He's already kicked one goal. And the angle quite obvious. He shoots and does it well. A perfect shot for goal by Gary Ablett. His second goal. And Geelong go to 8 goals, 12, 60. The Bombers 10, 6, 66.
There's the replay now, but Thompson, the Essendon player. Yes, it was against Peter Francis for holding Ablett, but very tiggy touch with one.
Barnes doing well in the ruck, the young fellow. Spilt by Williams, but he recovered. Put Hawker under heaps of pressure. Straight off to Troy. His pass finds Turner.
Shocking hand pass by Williams.
Johnny Young.
Yes. He's a Brisbane fan. And Turner's failed to find the big opening again. He's kicked 4 behinds, Linton the 5. 2 men who picked half a dozen last week or more. 5 points the difference.
Francis to kick the ball in for Essendon. Goes straight up the ground. It's a beautiful kick. Punch away by Stoneham. On the bottom of it, Grungs. A kick out of the pack. Has found Turner at centre half forward. And maybe this time Michael Turner can convert. He's directly in front. 40 metres out. 4th mark for the quarter. And a veteran of 215 VFL games. Not a bad looking kick. This time he's put it through for a goal. He's first for the match. He's kicked 1 goal 4. And the Cats are in front for the first time. And we've played nearly 20 minutes of the third quarter. 18.5 minutes of the third quarter. And Geelong in front for the first time.
There it is, a lucky kick out of the pack, but Michael Turner in front of his man, Gary Folds, who's minding him. And that's a place to be.
Ball took a while to come back. It's Barnes still in ruck against Damien Burke. Really deliberate bounce. And not a bad one. But Burke had the run in at it. Bounce, better one for Folds than Turner. Hands off to Thompson. He gets it to Hawker. Hawker over the vacant centre wing. Well gathered by Boss. Threads it along the boundary line. Throw in just forward of the centre. Geelong slightly into attack. Coming up to the 20-minute mark. And Geelong lead by a point.
Barnes and Burke. Burke just a little stronger. Gets the tap out towards the half-forward area. But it goes over the boundary line for another throw-in. Maybe 10 or 12 metres closer to Geelong's goal. Salmon up in the full-forward position and young Barnes doing the ruck work. Burke over the top. Chance for Bright. He fumbles at a crucial stage. Over the top of Thompson, it looks like. No, it's Williams on the bottom of the pack. He feeds the handball to Elshaw. Elshaw runs right across the face of the goal, comes to the member's side. Well, he actually kicks into the centre. A tap on. a chance for Buse. He's punched off the ball. Now the ball comes out towards the wing area. Watson, sloppy handball, puts Hamilton under pressure. Exel does it well. A high ball out towards the half-forward area. Brownless, play on. They've got the numbers, Geelong, but Brownless a little slow. And he goes back to take a long kick from 70 metres out. He perhaps should have played on. Brownless's kick off the side of the boot towards centre half forward. Bailey underneath it for the Bombers, and he takes the mark. He plays on, gives it to Terry Danaher.
Danaher drives towards half forward, arriving Cleve. Not quite the mark. Down goes Watson. Exel puts the tackle on him. Right on the 50-metre line for the Bombers. And Bill Brownless would be very disappointed initially for not playing on and then for not making up with it with a huge kick. Stoneham. Oh, very ticky Touchwood again. Playing the ball, but I didn't think anyone really retarded him. There's the kick towards Brownless. Over the top, Danaher. That's no mark. Play on. Hockings tripped and tackled high.
Yes, he's all over him. I agree with that decision.
Hocking to Buse, who's running down the middle unguarded. He'll go on. Draws the man and then hands it on to Scott. He's kicked one running already. Two.
Thompson, handball to Hawker. He's tackled, gets the ball out to Williams. He's tackled by Russell. Was it around the neck?
Well, he'll be lucky he's got a head left.
It was around the neck, but I think he also ducked a little bit at the moment of the tackle.
Williams takes the free kick. He does it. He handballs to Francis. He's tackled from behind. Geelong putting lots of pressure on the Essendon defence. The high ball by Francis towards centre half forward. A chance now for Baker. He's tackled by Stoneham around the net, according to umpire Mitchell. And Baker will take the free kick at the 50-metre line. His seventh kick coming up. And it was a little high, even though his head was ducking at the time. 72 VFL games, Leon Baker. Long ball in towards the goal square. Punch away by Burke over the boundary line for a throw-in some 5 metres around from the Essendon behind post.
You're really missing a fit Salmon at the moment, Bernie. Burke's doing well in the air there.
They are, yes. Salmon is definitely favouring that leg.
He holds Burke. They wrestled perhaps evenly as Buse shot it out to Cleve. He finds Christensen. Marty Christensen should have played on. He's stopped now. Now he goes in the direction of Bill Brownless. Front position, Barnes up high, Thompson even higher. Hamilton rather, feeds it off to Thompson. Ablett, a vigorous shepherd there. Exel in front underneath it. Ricochets to Hocking. Gets it out in the Buse direction. Knocked out. Bruns got it across to Boss. Long handball from Burke. Here's Troy. Calling back for it is Russell. He's caught. Free kick will go the way of Clark. Stephen Clark has come on from interchange. Putting the pressure on Russell, who just dwelled a little bit. And Clark plays on.
Clark's kick towards centre half forward. No mark. Baker on the end of it. Baker, left foot snapshot for goal from 40 metres out. Is offline. Across the face of the goal. Through for a behind of the Bombers. They go to 10-7-67. They're trailing by 6 points. Geelong 10-13-73. Approaching time on. We've played 24.5 minutes of the third quarter.
Burke the target. Barnes up very high. Barnes back through his legs. Burke taps it, but only as far as Baker. Caught by Scott. Bairstow over the top of it. Tries to get up with the ball, but he's caught 3 ways. Essendon just slightly into attack. We are almost into time on. And Geelong have a goal lead. Scott's handball. Oh, puts Stoneham is over there under pressure. He's got the free kick. Now it's Bruns, the other redhead. Bruns had a pretty good match. 15th kick coming up. Boss going past him. Getting dark here at Windy Hill. Long kick, looking for the high-flying Brownless. Danaher nearly got it. Other number 5, Ablett, across to Scott. Turner met solidly, and the ball over the boundary line. Good defence down there from Folds. And Geelong lead by 7 points.
Kick in by Folds to himself. Out towards half-back, Terry Danaher. Kick towards centre-half-back, Baker. Russell doing the chasing, looking a little tired. Here's a chance for Hamilton. Gets past Hughes, over the top, finds Duckworth. Duckworth shoots for goal. It's a poor kick into the pocket. Salmon taps it back. Cleave under pressure, takes possession of the football. Handball to Boss. Boss towards the centre wing. Barnes is there on his own. A good call by Thompson, and Thompson takes the mark. Kicks in towards centre half forward. Walsh can't mark. Punched away. Hawker. Dispossessed. Chance for Ablett. Feeds it out to Christensen. Christensen to Bruns. Bruns to centre wing, and the mark is taken by Francis.
Peter Francis has played some very solid games for Essendon of late. 11th kick of the match coming up. He's got a 15-metre advantage now, which puts him over the centre. Get on with it, say the fans. In to Bailey he goes. Bruns knocks it clear. Baker after it for Essendon. Barnes trying to put the Shepherd in, an ineffective one. Exel put the pressure on. Scott pops one high. Gets it out to Christensen. Christensen in turn to Exel, who kept running. Handball to Troy. Finally found the handle. Bairstow along the boundary line finds Turner.
Well, they persevered well there, Geelong, to just keep on having a go. And eventually it's fallen into the hands of Mick Turner. He's about 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. 10th kick for Turner. Not a bad-looking kick, but it goes across the face. Through for another behind to the Cats. And their inaccuracy may prove costly. They're 10-15, Essendon 10-7.
Winton. Oh, over the head of Danaher. Brownless from a standing start. It won't count. So Geelong go in at three-quarter time, leading for the first time by 8 points. Goal kickers for them. 2 to Scott, Brownless, Bruns and Ablett. Singles to Turner and Exel for the Bombers. 2 to Duckworth and Barnes. Singles, Elshaw, Williams, Salmon, Baker and Danaher.
And didn't blaze away. Saw Barnes out in front. And he's been a handy player up on that forward line.
2 points in favour of the Cats. Merritt in the ruck. Barnes at full forward. A few desperate changes made by Sheedy. Chance for Bright. He has to handball backwards. Now, on the end of it, Hocking. In towards centre half forward. Mark taken by Turner. Casual as you like. Where was his opponent? One might ask. 11 kicks for Michael Turner. He's kicked 1 goal, 5. The other key forward, Linder, has kicked 5 behinds. And Turner punts for goal. He's hooked it, and it goes through for a behind when Geelong badly needed a goal. They lead by 3 points. And we've played 3.5 minutes of the last quarter.
Brian Winton plays on from full-back, as he so often does. He's being pressured by Linder. The sparing lunge at the ankles doesn't pay off, and Winton has gained 50 metres. Runs halfway between half-back and wing. He keeps running too. Knock on from Walsh, not successful. Clark's was. Hawker couldn't gather. Christensen for the Cats. Back inboard to Hocking. Hocking towards half-forward, looking for Turner. Front position again on Duckworth, and another mark for Michael Turner. Duckworth, who's been up on the forward line and kicked 2 goals, back on the back line, and Turner starting off well on him in this last quarter. Squaring kick. Ablett back down on the forward line. The fist from Merritt goes loose. Picked up by Clark, and he's copped one high. And if Turner was recorded, then that one looked a hell of a lot worse.
I agree, Peter. I agree, and if he doesn't get that book out, I'll be very surprised.
It was Russell who came in. And we saw 2 men reported for similar things a week ago. No book out as yet, and there won't be one coming out.
Ah, well, how do you work it out?
Free kick with Clark.
Clark, handball wide to Merritt. Merritt goes straight through. Centre half back. Kicking towards the centre. Bailey can't mark. Christensen. Hawker at the back. Does it well. slips over at a crucial stage. Handball over to Watson. Watson's kick towards the goal. Offline, through from behind to the Bombers. The difference is 2 points. Geelong 10-16-76, the Bombers 11-8-74, and we've played just over 5 minutes of the last quarter. Bright to bring the ball back in for the Cats, goes towards centre half back. Burke on the bottom, punched away by Merritt. Chance for Hawker. Handball finds Clark, he's tackled, breaks the tackle, back onto his left foot, now his right foot, kicks towards goal. Over the top, Barnes can't mark, and it'll go over the boundary line for a throw-in, 15 metres around from the Essendon goal. Geelong are 2 points in front, and we're 6 minutes into the last quarter.
Van der Haar, back position on Burke. Williams kick ricochets off a Geelong player over the boundary line. So the ruckman to do it again. Essendon throwing 2 men in on Burke, but he still wins the tap. Exel onto the left boot. Half back. Oh, Russell, fine mark. In the gathering gloom here at Windy Hill, Dwayne Russell pulls down a big one. Gets the Geelong side over the centre. Bill Brownless the target. Bounces just inside. Throw in with Geelong just into attack, and Paul Salmon would rather be out there, I'm sure. Hope it's not that knee that's giving him problems.
Boundary throw in, centre wing, Merritt with strength. Williams can't break clear. Chance for Essendon, slips over Terry Danaher, but he's been infringed against, a trip according to the umpire, and Terry Danaher will take the free kick. No, he doesn't. He handballs and finds Francis. Russell doing the chasing, but Francis's kick up towards half forward, and a good mark taken by the big Geelong captain on this occasion in Burke. Burke's kick. Oh, no one home. Thompson for Essendon takes the mark in the centre of the ground. Plays on quickly towards centre half forward. The mark taken by Boss. Boss comes through half back. Kicks with the left foot towards half forward for the Cats. It's over the back. Here's a chance for Lindner. He runs into his own man. Bairstow over the top. And for Essendon, Winton kicks it towards centre half back, and the mark has been taken by Folds for the Bombers.
7.5 minutes gone. Geelong up by 2 points. Folds finds Thompson beautifully. Left foot kick to half forward. Down goes Bright. And he's left Clark loose. He's caught by Stoneham. Off the ground from Burke. Troy over the top to Bright. Down through the middle go the Cats. Long kick for Lindner, who's out on the half-forward flank, straight through his hands. He's back in there to put pressure on Francis. He does it very well, Bruce Lindner. Could just about kick this one. He goes for home. It's there! Bruce Lindner brings up his first goal of the afternoon, and what a time to do it for the Cats. He puts them 8 points up at the 8-minute mark of the last quarter.
Yeah, great stuff by Lindner, but I thought Peter Francis could have got it over that boundary line. Here it is, his first goal for the afternoon, Lindner, and that's 1 goal 5 for the day. And he and Turner could have won the game between them.
Good shepherd by Turner up in the goal square. 8 points Geelong lead by. Merritt and Burke, Troy. Kick towards centre half forwards, marked by Turner. It's all Geelong. Turner perhaps a little bit too far out. He's 65 metres out. Goes for the big torpedo. Drops in short. No mark taken. Chance for Lindner. He's pressured by Hurd. Mark Thompson. Out to Bailey at centre half back. On centre wing, Baker takes the mark. In towards centre half forward. It's through the Geelong players. Clark at the back will go straight for goal, and he bangs it through for the Bombers. And it's 2 points the difference again. 80 plays 82. 10 minutes into the last quarter, and Stephen Clark kicks his first goal for Essendon.
And probably a bit lucky to get that one, because well behind his Geelong opponents, and 2 Geelong players have just managed to weave its way through the ball there. So maybe a little bit fortunate, but only 2 points of difference.
Hughes, I think, should have called Exel leave it. They both stopped and went through the gap. But Clark has given them a little lift in pace around the pack since he came on from the bench, as Merritt does it well out of the air. Bruns drives Geelong forward onto the half-forward flank. Number 16 is Brownless. Number 5, Terry Danaher. 2 New South Welsh-born players. Throw in on the half-forward flank for Geelong. 2 Geelong against 1 Essendon this time. Brownless out of the air, but it's Williams on the ground. Well caught by Brownless. He gets his kick-off on the ground to Folds. He gives it to Danaher. Danaher to the wing. Baker beaten by Hocking. The tap goes to Bruns. Squaring kick only as far as Francis. Caught well by Scott. Knock on by Folds. To the wing, it's all Essendon. Daisy Williams. Handballs through there to Baker. Baker's handball to the running Hurd. Not a good handball. Puts Watson under pressure, but he's up to it. Handball just on slipping. Finds Thompson. His handball across to Baker. Kicks towards Buse. A bad bounce for him. Knocked for the boundary line from Boss. Lost by Winton. Christensen cleans up for the Cats. And the ball up towards the boundary line. Kept in well by Thompson. Good shepherd from Baker. Thompson drives up to the square. It falls short. They all fly. Hawker! Superb mark, Glenn Hawker. His 9th kick coming up and a vital one for the Bombers. And after that mark, he deserves to put them in front. 20-odd thousand hearts and mouths. No mistake from Hawker. He kicks his first of the afternoon, and the Dons, for the first time in a quarter, back in the lead.
Great stuff, Hawker. And Essendon haven't had players up on the forward line who've been able to take the big mark today. And it's been left up to Hawker, really, who's played on the half-back flank and across the centre line to get up there and take the big mark.
Essendon by 4 points. 12 and a half minutes into the last quarter. Burke. Merritt. Chance for Hurd. Baker. Bailey. Now, Stoneham. Troy. Gets past. Backs himself. He's got to get past Thompson, and Bomber Thompson does it well. Left foot kick towards the wing is marked by Watson. And the Essendon fans come to life. Exel on the mark. Smothered. Chance for Scott. Kick towards half forward. Marked by Lindner for the Cats.
15 metres.
15 metres, according to umpire Mitchell. And Lindner's now a chance from 50 metres. Kicks a long one. Into the square. Merritt at the back. It goes across the face of goal and out of bounds. 10 metres around from the behind post. Geelong in attack. Just over the 13-minute mark. Essendon lead by 4 points. 86 plays 82.
Winton, full back, taking position for the throw-in. Down goes Brownless, but it's away through Merritt. Off to Francis. Christensen, the despairing hand. Williams gathers nicely to Francis. Kept running. Good work, Peter Francis. Drives them into attack. Van der Haar. No, again spills it. Cleaves handball. Puts Boss under pressure. He's up to it. Over the middle they go. But it's all Essendon now. Roger Merritt come into it well in this last quarter. Chance for Francis. Kick it, say the crowd. Van der Haar another chance. Cleave over the top of him. Barnes on it for Essendon. Boss nowhere to go. Gives it to Burke. Napped away well by the tackler in Bailey. And a bounce half forward for Essendon. They lead by 4 points. 14 minutes into the last quarter.
Umpire Dorr in control. Punch away by Walsh. Troy's on the end of it. Buse tries to tap it to Russell. Bruns. Long kick towards centre half forward by Bruns. It's all Essendon. Through comes Hocking. Folds, tap on. Danaher over the boundary line for a throw-in. Half-forward flank, outer side of the ground. 65 metres around from the Geelong goal. And we wonder who they support. Brownless and Merritt. Chance for Hocking. Hurd intercepts. Feeds the handball wide. Clark fumbles at the crucial stage. Goes after it again. Right foot kick by Clark towards half forward. No mark taken. Walsh tackled as he kicks the ball, but he gets the kick away. To the front of the square, Barnes. No mark. Buse tidies up for the Cats. One bounce. Two bounces. He's got 50 metres in front of him. Four bounces. Again. Chased by Hawker. Pushed as he kicks. And the free kick will go downfield to Turner. And he did it well, Buse. He waited until just the last second. And Hawker a little upset. Turner's kick towards centre half forward. And the mark taken by Ablett. 30 metres out directly in front. Fourth mark to Ablett. He's already kicked 2 goals. And with his 8th kick, could put the Cats in front. Gary Ablett. He's hooked it. And he's missed. A behind to Geelong. And Essendon lead by 3 points. And we are 16 minutes into the last quarter.
And a poor shot for goal by Ablett because he took it easy. He didn't kick through it.
Terry is the call from the Essendon fans, and their skipper does it well. Danaher to Hawker. Keeps it in play for Walsh. Knocks Stoner off it, but can't keep it in. But the Essendon fans, I think, saying poetic justice, that shot at goal. They didn't agree with the free kick down ground. Throw in between wing and half forward for them. Burke's tap. Scott wrestling with Williams. The 2 blondes on the bottom of the pack exchange pleasantries. The Essendon fans looking to exhort their team on the victory. They lead by 3 points. 17 minutes gone last term. Burke wins the tap. Goes to Clark. Under pressure, gets the kick away. Buse first back on it. Well pressured by Barnes. Van der Haar arrives to put extra pressure on, but Buse has got the toe. The kick's not a good one. Bailey for the Dons. Told to go long. Torpedo punt off the side of the boot into the pocket. Favours Watson. Good mark! It's been paid. Tim Watson. Into the pocket. Good place to be when the long shot's coming in. They can wobble off the side of the boot. And he had that break, Tim Watson, to take his 4th mark of the afternoon.
Judged it well, but Mark Boss really should have been able to punch it away.
Well, a vital shot at goal for the Essendon veteran. Cross the goal, brings up a behind. Time for some deep breathing from all concerned. 4 points the lead for Essendon as Brownless prepares to come on for the Cats.
Brownless came off, actually, Peter, and Schultz is on. And it's a bit of a desperate move by the Cats. Brownless hadn't done much for a few minutes. The kick in towards half-back. Oh, it's overrun by all Essendon players. And Geelong scramble. That half-back is Billy Brownless, looking very, very weary. Takes a breather on the bench. Umpire Dorr. Burke, tap towards Bruns. Williams sees the ball safely over the boundary line for a throw-in. It's slightly into Essendon's scoring area, a long way away from their goal. Burke and Merritt. Burke gets the tap out. Here's a chance now for Russell. Kick up towards the forward pocket area. No mark taken. Lindner tackled as the ball went to the ground. Francis intercepts right up against the boundary line. As a matter of fact, the boundary umpire right on the spot, and Francis obviously just gone over the boundary line for a throw-in. 65 metres around from the Geelong goal.
Merritt gets it down. Schultz, number 23, new player for Geelong. It's trundled out only as far as Bruns. Turner has 2 to beat. Oh, picked up by Scott. This little fellow's kicked 2 on the run. Has he hooked it enough? He has!
Great play.
Well, 3 goals, and you really couldn't pick which one was the best. I guess in the situation, that one was, because it's put Geelong in front.
But look at the Essendon players here. There's 2 of them just waited, and Scott was the only one who really attacked the ball. And onto that trusty boot of his. He's kicked 3 goals on the run. And that couldn't have come at a better time for the Geelong side.
The Cats lead by 2 points. Burke. Francis fumbles. Schultz taps it on. Bairstow on Hurd. Bruns tries to crash his way through. Here's Scott again. Handball's out. Christensen. A long one. Into the square. Has it gone through? It's a goal. Yes! The Geelong big man in the goal square gave the indication that Christensen had kicked a great goal for the Cats. They're 13th and they lead by 8 points.
I don't know, Christensen kicked that from a long way out. And there's that man again. Handballs it out to Christensen. He's kicked that from 55 metres out at least. And well done again by Ablett to shepherd it through.
Well, 8 points is a big lead at the 21-minute mark. It's picked up by Walsh in his 100th game. Can he revitalise the Dons? Behind the pack, arriving Clark, met heavily. Throw in the pocket.
And there's Baker off the ground.
Bench, Leon Baker.
That's after he left that one for Scott to run through and kick the goal.
Mistakes not tolerated as Burke. Stoneham now for the Geelong. Fends off Williams, kicks to the wing. Ricochets off Russell's chest momentarily, but he keeps going. Williams steals it away from him. Kicks high. Barnes is the flyer they want. Boss for Geelong. Keeps it in front of him on the hands and knees. He gets it to Cleve. Chance for Clark. Bruns pulls it back under his body. Out it goes. Geelong clear. Buse. Handballs. Boundary line or a teammate will suit him, but it's gone the way of the Dons. Now it's Exel for Geelong. Kicks to the wing. Up high, Lindner. Down on the ground, Francis. Off to Merritt. This looks promising. Folds for Essendon. Outside 50. Up to the edge of the square. He's looking for Big Barnes, but it's Boz who knocks it away. In the pocket, snap it goal from Clark. One behind. The difference, 7 points. We've played 22.5 minutes. Either team can win this one. Terry Bright taking plenty of time at full-back.
Bright goes for the long one, out towards half-back. He doesn't quite get onto it. Burke in front. It's punched away towards Essendon's goal. Folds. A long hand pass into the pocket. Kicked by Watson to the front of the square. There's a chance for Hawker. Barnes. Oh, running through. Essendon interfered with no. Hawker on the bottom of it. Can't break clear, and umpire Dorr decides on a bounce. Only 12, 13, 14 metres out directly in front. And Geelong desperate to protect their lead. They lead by 7 points, and we've played 23.5 minutes of the last quarter.
Burke against Walsh, the 230s. Burke down to Watson. He's missed it. Oh, well rode by Tim Watson after Geelong won it in the air. Burke just tending to fist it at the moment. They can go anywhere as Terry Bright gets away just after the flags have finished waving. No one to kick to. He gets a good shepherding, draws the man and gives it to the skipper, Damien Burke. A wobbly old kick up to the wing. A bounce, an awkward one, but he does it well, Duckworth. Handball will go to his opponent in Turner. Tries to tap it for Scott. Down goes Bailey with one in the back. Dean Bailey, centre wing for Essendon. Handballs to Duckworth. Fumbles, caught by Lindner, but gets it to Foles. Up towards half forward. Hawker leaves it for Barnes. Good talking from the youngster. He said, leave it, Glenn. And Barnes, in trepidation, wants to pass it if he can. You see Hawker there. And the mark was held for long enough. He'll kick from just inside 50. He's kicked 3. Make that 4! Essendon to within. Well, no, it's tied up, all tied up here at Windy Hill.
And what a game. Coming up the time on now. And there's Barnes. He's a real Spring Hill Jack. He's got a fantastic leap and a sticky pair of fingers.
Scores a level. 25-minute mark of the last quarter. Time on. Merritt, Burke. What a finish. Both sides desperate. Umpire Mitchell. Christensen. Kick to half forward. Out in the open. Close to the boundary line. And it goes over for a throw-in. It's a push in the back. And the free kick will go to Thompson against Turner. 15-metre penalty. Play on. Elshaw. Long one to centre half forward. The high flyers wanted. No one there. Geelong tidy up. It goes out towards the centre of the ground. Merritt kicks into the pocket, leading in the race for the ball. A mark taken by Terry Danaher. And Essendon must hit the front. Surely Danaher can score. He's 45 metres out. A very experienced campaigner. A beautiful kick by Merritt finds Danaher out in front of Bright. And here's the Essendon skipper. Shoots for goal. It's a high one into the square, but it puts the Bombers in front. They lead by a point at the 26.5-minute mark of the last quarter. And now Geelong have to fight hard to get back.
Exel from full back. Got a lovely left boot. Gets plenty of distance, looking for Stoneham. Knocked away by Walsh. Behind the pack, it's Merritt. He's played a top last quarter. Elshaw bombs the Bombers to the edge of the square. Barnes couldn't quite get it on the rebound. Exel, cool. Out for the running Bruns. The Cats to half back. Not a good kick. Spilt by Folds. Tapped by Hocking across to Scott to the wing. Arriving too late, Vanderhaar, but behind the pack he's got Thompson. Caught by Troy. Play on. Francis for Essendon. Kicks towards half forward. All Geelong here. Boz in front, a good mark. 27 minutes gone. They can't waste time. Christensen for the Cats over the centre. And he finds Troy.
Troy plays on quickly. Baker looking anxious on the bench. Troy comes in towards centre half forward. Geelong need to mark this. It's up in the goal square. Turner at the back. Merritt desperate. Ablett desperate. All players desperate. The ball on the ground, Merritt in there for Essendon, and a bounce will take place only 40 metres out from the Geelong goal, and we've played 27.5 minutes. Essendon lead by a point, 96 plays 95. What a finish.
Taken out of the air by Russell, but only as far as Bailey. Taken by Ablett, snap! Through from behind. No, kept in play. Brilliant work by, was it Vanderhaar down there?
Oh, no.
Out of bounds on the full. It's a free kick to Geelong, only 35 metres out.
Well, Vanderhaar, he did miracles down there, the Flying Dutchman, to sprawl and keep it in play. And it's Superman for the Cats, hoping he will live up to his nickname. His snap stopped from going over by Vanderhaar, and then he's put it out in the full. The clock says 28-13. Get them away 10 metres back, says Gary Ablett. He wants to score. He might have done more than that. No, it hasn't scored. Duckworth. There's just a point, Peter. No, the goal umpire has signalled a behind. Well, looked as if it hadn't crossed. Scores a level. The boundary umpire prepares to throw in. Has to hand it back to Duckworth to get it to the full back instead, and we've gone 28 3/4 minutes.
Well, Elshaw with the football, deciding that he may want to run with it. Now he decides to loop the handball out to the back pocket. Francis. Essendon desperately trying to get the ball forward. Barnes again. Plays on. Hawker in the centre of the ground. 29 minutes gone. Hawker into the forward pocket. No mark taken. A chance for Bright. He punches the ball towards the boundary line, and it goes over for a throw-in. 25 metres around from the Essendon goal, and we're 29 minutes and 22 seconds into the last quarter. Scores level at Windy Hill. Boundary throw-in.
We've had 7 goals kicked in the quarter, so there might be a bit of time on. Burke wins the tap. Williams can't keep it in play. 29.5 minutes gone. Scores all tied up at Windy Hill. The Bombers have the chance. A score, I'd say, would win it for them. The 2:30s towards the boundary line. There it is. It's a draw. A tie at Windy Hill. The umpire has now blown time on, and in fact, He hadn't blown it till well after the siren, so the defence from Buse was good football to keep running with the ball because it wasn't all over until it was signalled by the goal umpire. A draw at Windy Hill and Bernie Quinlan, well, perhaps a fitting result.
Well, there's talk of the end of an era at Essendon, but the talk at Geelong is of a new one. John Devine told Peter G that the youth of the Cats is being underestimated.
People are inclined to forget that we have a relatively young side. We've got a Robert Scott at 18, a Gary Hocking at 18, a Barry Stoneham at 19, a Billy Brownless at 19. And these are pretty young fellows to be playing league football.
People are calling them stars, so Bill Brownless already.
Well, that's right. Bill has got a star status image already, and he's 19 and he's only learning the game. Robert Scott has turned 18 a fortnight ago, so that we've got a lot of kids, you know, and perhaps we might be setting our expectations too high, you know, especially against an experienced side like Essendon today. When the crunch come and the crisis come, you know, one of them made a bad mistake at a crucial part of the game, but he's learning the game, so we've got to be patient and tolerant with these fellas. But I'm sure we're on the right tram with these fellas. You know, they're going to be very good players for the club in the future, and you know, I think the club can look for a bright future because of these fellas.
Well, it was just the third draw in VFL football since 1980, although in that year there were three, quite a glut. And it's the first since the Queen's birthday in 1985 when North Melbourne and Hawthorn played that classic match at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Barnes kicked 4 goals for Essendon and Duckworth 2, and for the Cats 3 to Scott, 2 each to Ablett, Brownless and Bruns. The first draw. And first in our top 6, and great to see, second game back, Tim Watson.
When he needed it, over the mark,
little big man, Neville Bruns.
It's called play on as Bruns, the little fellow over the big fish who doesn't know where he's gone.
A flyer from Kevin Walsh.
Pressuring from the back line, and a great mark for Walsh. Thompson
from the back, and good to see him back, Glenn Hawker.
Superb mark, Glenn Hawker.
It's a sneaker from Bill Duckworth.
As the game goes on, Elshaw over the top, Barnes. Duckworth grabs the football, kicks with the left foot and puts it through. A brilliant goal by Billy Duckworth. He plays
great running and backing up from Gavin Exel of Geelong.
Chance for Russell, can't get past, but he gets the handball to Exel. Exel goes for goal and puts it through.
Trundled out.
The last one of a treble by Geelong's young Robert Scott.
Oh, picked up by Scott. This little fellow's kicked 2 on the run. Has he hooked it enough? He has!
Now, best a lesson. If you make a mistake, keep on trying. Bruce Lindner of Geelong.
He's back in there to put pressure on Francis. He does it very well, Bruce Lindner. Just about kicked this one. He goes for home. It's there!
Joined an elite group when he goaled with his first kick in league football. Tim Watson struggled early, but he put the Bombers 21 points up at quarter time when XL fumbled in the square. The second term was a repeat of the first, except the roles were reversed. Geelong slowly pegged the deficit back, and when Bruns kicked a brilliant goal, the scores were level. But just before the main break, clever work from Duckworth put the Bombers back in front. The third quarter was a tight one, and Scott's second helped the Cats claw their way to an 8-point lead at the last break. The final term got willing, Clark goes down, and the Cats kept their lead when Lindner snapped truly. But Clark bounced back, and the Bombers weren't gone by a long shot. Robert Scott cut the Bombers' defence apart for his third, and again the Cats hit the lead. But Barnes kicked his fourth, and a behind from Terry Danaher put the Bombers in front again by a point. Van der Haar then saved the day for Essendon before Ablett kicked a point. Then with seconds to go, Clark got the ball, and any score would have won it, but the siren blew for a tie, and given the circumstances, it
wasn't evident in the first quarter. A strong lead from John Barnes gave the young bomber a goal with his first kick in senior football.
Kick. It's very close. It's through.
Geelong's early play was purely survival, with moments of individual brilliance, and it was up to half-back flanker Gavin Exel to kick the Cats' first goal.
Exel goes for goal and puts it through.
In the second quarter, Geelong's runners picked up the pace of the game, and Neville Bruns was particularly dangerous with 2 goals. In a contrast of styles, the brawn of Bill Duckworth was proving equally effective. Geelong started the last quarter 8 points up and favoured by the scoring end, but Essendon drew first blood. The Cats' most productive forward in recent weeks, Bruce Lindner, dogged by an accuracy early, struck back with the goal of the day to register his first. Despite away, Stephen Clark